The life histories of many organisms are directly tied to the regular flooding of the floodplain for access to feeding and breeding. The variation of the flood pulse regulates productivity in a river floodplain system. The Atchafalaya River Basin floodplain has hydrological modifications such as dams and levees that has altered the hydrology within the basin, but it still receives the annual flood pulse from the Atchafalaya River. The Upper Barry Estuary has been separated from the Mississippi River due to hydrological modifications and does not receive an annual flood pulse from the Mississippi River. The Upper Barry Estuary floodplain only becomes flooded during heavy precipitation events. The lack of a regular flood pulse in the Upper Barry Estuary may reduce the exchange of nutrients between aquatic and terrestrial habitats, which may alter food availability for many opportunistic feeding fish species that consume whatever prey item is available. The organism that I'll be studying is bowfin, or most commonly known as shoepick. They are an opportunistic feeder and they are abundant in both basins, making a good candidate model species to study food webs in both basins. The goal of my project is to determine if bowfin diets in the Upper Barry Estuary are similar to bowfin diets in the Atchafalaya River Basin. Examining the stomachs of bowfin, I'll compare their diets and to determine if they're eating crayfish, fish, detritus, unknown, or fish. Examining the diets of bowfin may determine the type of prey bowfin consume, which may reveal the importance of a flooded floodplain to diet structure. For example, in the Atchafalaya Basin, bowfin primarily consume crayfish during the spring when the floodplain is flooded. In the spring, during a normal high water period, bowfin primarily consume crayfish because they are an abundant food source. However, if water level is not high enough to flood the floodplain, then bowfin will have to find an alternative food source. Imagine just like us, if we did not have crayfish to eat in the spring, we'd have to find something else to consume. Besides crayfish, the entire food web will be altered due to an altered flood post. So if in the Upper Barry Estuary, bowfin diets are not similar to bowfin diets in the Atchafalaya Basin, then this may provide evidence that the lack of a flood pulse can impact fish diets and thus the food webs of the entire system. So when evaluating the restoration of the variation of the flood pulse in the Upper Barry Estuary, the needs of flood-dependent species should be considered. This goal will provide a baseline to compare the change in food webs over time as coastal restoration activity progresses and a tool to evaluate restoration success. Thank you.